OMT Online Dynasty, welcome everybody to beautiful Memphis, Tennessee for our Week 2 Game of the Week featuring Cosmic Selector and his UAB Blazer taking on C Knuckles and his Memphis Tigers. And this is much more than just a regular out-of-conference matchup. This is the battle for the Bones rivalry. These two teams will be facing off to win this beautiful trophy. I'll throw up on the screen here somewhere. Nice bronze rack of ribs. And happening right behind us back here, the fans of each of these teams are actually taking place in a rib cooking competition, a little barbecue competition between the people of Birmingham and the people of Memphis. Now, I'm a little biased towards Texas barbecue, but the smell these Memphis fans are making behind us might be winning me over. So super fun rivalry matchup here, a fantastic game we get between Cosmic Selector and C Knuckles, and typically I will avoid trying to use the same team in back-to-back weeks, but we only had 3 user games this week, and this one was very, very good. Speaking of our Week 1 Game of the Week, I did totally forget to give a special shout out to Uncle Drew, the user of Oregon State, now Papa Drew, Father Drew, whatever you want to call it, a new dad. Congratulations. Welcome to the club. There's truly nothing like it in the world, and I hope all has been going well for you and yours over there. So let's focus back in on the game at hand for this week. We know what to expect from UAB. We saw it in Season 4. We saw it last week. That power run game, play some strong defense, limit your mistakes, try to force the other team to do things potentially they're a little bit uncomfortable with. So we know what to expect from UAB. Now on the Memphis side though, so C Knuckles, he was the coach at Louisiana Tech in year 4, decided to jump ship, take the job at Memphis heading into year 5 before the transfer portal. And he runs the veer and shoot offense, which is not one we see too much across the dynasty. Oh, I also forgot to mention my shirt. Pigskin Pig Out. Technically this is for East Carolina, but I do think it kind of fits the motif of what's going on here considering the competition. And remember, it's right behind us. It's unbelievable. The scenes here in the Memphis parking lot. I'm not even sure if this is the right stadium. It says Memphis Tigers on it though, so I'm gonna go with it. Anyway, so these two teams, C Knuckles, new coach at Memphis, we will see what he's got in that. He's in the Southern Miss veer and shoot. UAB is still going to be in that Iowa heavy offensive playbook. We'll take a quick look at the depth chart of these two teams. At halftime, we will have highlights of our other 2 user games that happened here in Week 2, Army versus Texas State, and our first conference game of the season from the Mountain West, Rice taking on Toledo. So we'll go over those at halftime. But first, let's take a look at the depth chart, starting with our visiting team in UAB. And we will go through this one pretty quickly because we just went through UAB last week. We do got DJ Khaled at quarterback, 79 overall, 79 speed. Halfbacks, these are the real playmakers. This is where a lot of the damage of UAB is going to come from. DeMarco Page, 93 speed, elusive bruiser, impact dev. This guy is a monster. He is really going to be something next season. I didn't even notice his hometown, Beaverton, Oregon. And last week he played the Oregon State Beavers. Talk about just a nasty betrayal on the part of DeMarco Page, but this guy's going to be an absolute freak next season. Robbie Koch, his backup, Caldwell, the halfback 3. Last week we saw all 3 of these guys get carries. I'm expecting we are going to see that again here with UAB. At wide receiver, really not a ton, but it really doesn't make a difference because they are not going to be passing the ball a whole heck of a lot. We got good overall guys, no real speed though. At least for now. Reggie Neal, he is an impact dev with platinum double dip. He still have a gold cutter with true font, so still guys, and platinum sure hands, and another impact dev. So still guys that are going to be able to probably get open, and that true font's going to catch anything thrown his way. At tight end, we have our quick drop outside shield on Brett Hawkins. At offensive line, the main things we are going to be paying attention to is these guard positions with a platinum quick step on each one. The left tackle playing left guard with Benji Fowler. Right guard is going to be a right guard, but still with platinum quick step. UAB loves those runs with the pulling guards. We saw that last week. We saw those quick steps lighten up. It's a nasty little scheme he's got cooking up over here with UAB. So I don't think defensively there's a ton for us to see with this squad. Inside disruptor, outside disruptor is pretty nice there. Defensive tackle, of course, a bunch of workhorses. Yeah, not a ton for us to look at on the defensive side of things. I mean, a pretty solid secondary, at least in terms of speed, at least on your top 3. Top 2, I mean, definitely not the third one. No offense, Eric Steed, but you're not the fastest man I've ever seen. Free safety, 87 speed, house call and robber on Judson, and strong safety, house call and robber on Rosaboom. So that is how UAB is going to set up. Let's take a look at the Memphis Tigers. 1.5-star program, 77 overall. Pretty even matchup between Memphis and UAB here. Jamison Schism, extender, option king, dot, mobile resistance, dual threat quarterback, normal dev, and he has all those abilities. He's also number 44, which bothers me a lot. So nothing personal against C Knuckles or Jamison Schism, and I would make fun of his name being like an EA creation, but this could be a real one too. Every time I say anything about it, it turns out to be a real name. But him wearing number 44 is fairly disgusting, but he will be the quarterback for the Memphis Tigers here today at halfback. Bo Jackson. Now, this guy I know is real. I have no idea how he ended up at Memphis. Things must have gone wrong for him at Ohio State. 90 overall, 91 speed, great excel, agility, change of direction, some really good abilities. Nice. I mean, you do have to have a good running back if you want to run a veer and shoot style. Look at all of his. So he's got an elite dev, true freshman, redshirt freshman, star dev, and then Bo Jackson. He's got quite, for a team he just took over, that is quite the situation in the halfback room. Looking really nice. But yeah, if you're running that veer and shoot, you have to keep the threat of the run. So it's important to have a good stable of halfbacks. You also need some good wide receivers. We got one solid one here, John Howden. He is only 5'8", but at least he's 93 speed. Behind him, Larry Kroom, platinum cutter, but only 83 speed, kind of like what we saw with the UAB wide receiver room. We'll see. I think that cutter, he should still be able to get open, but UAB, I don't believe runs a ton of man. You'd think I'd remember. We just covered the team, but I simply don't. I simply do not remember. So the wide receiver room, not looking the best for Memphis. We'll see if Schism is going to be able to get anything going through the air in this one. Tight end wise, it is good to have a faster tight end. I mean, it depends how you run the veer and shoot, because they do have a lot of like tight end RPOs and then some of those wide and wide offset. One of wide or wide offset uses your tight end in the right slot. I can never remember which one, but one of them does. So having a good tight end also important. Turns out in the veer and shoot, you just kind of want good players all over the field. Who would have guessed? Offensive line, inside shield on our left tackle, TJ Schumer. Pocket shield on Sam Browder, our left guard. Quick step on our center, Terrell Cantwell. Right guard, pocket shield. Are we going to have abilities across our entire offensive line? Okay. So not at our right tackle. Keep the ability on your left tackle with a right-hand quarterback. That certainly makes sense. So a very solid offensive line for Memphis. Let's check their defense here really quick. I haven't looked at this team at all, so this is all just kind of first reactions to what we're seeing for the Tigers. Pocket disruptor and gold workhorse, pure power on Jakari Gatling. Nice to have that in the middle of the field. Let's see any linebackers that are going to play. This gentleman certainly will. Taylor Felix, impact dev, thumper, 6'1", 250 pounds, but 93 speed on that Mike linebacker. My goodness. That guy is going to be flying all across the field at corner. Tony DeMarco with quick jump, 91 speed, 6'1". Another 6'1" with robber, Xavier Thompson. So very, very solid top two corner. I would probably guess Marquise Minor is going to be in here somewhere as well with his house call, 89 speed. Maybe at slot corner or something like that. Free safety, Leo Aguilar, Nelson Aguilar's son, finally coming up the college ranks. We'll see if he can catch anything. 87 speed at free safety, and at strong safety, 89 speed, Lakeem Jackson. So that is how UAB is set up. That is how the Memphis Tigers are set up. It's going to be the power run of UAB against the veer and shoot of Memphis. Let's see what team is bringing home that beautiful bronze rack of ribs. And here we go. It will be the Memphis Tigers starting with the ball first, and this is all going to be from the Memphis perspective of C Knuckles. We did UAB for last week. Let's flip the script a little bit and look at the Memphis offense for this one. Coming out in that veer and shoot right away, and I'm curious to see what UAB is going to try to do on the defensive side of things. So we see this is right away a formation I never use when I run the veer and shoot is the wide stack. For some reason, I just never get comfortable running this. But Memphis, of course, in some beautiful alternate uniforms. Memphis has some of the best alternates in the entire game. Taking a quick one there to Kroom on the left side. A nice, easy 7-yard completion there for Memphis. Looks like UAB's doing a good job kind of keeping some numbers in the box, trying to slow down that run game. Bo Jackson almost got a speed burst right through a gap there. He will just take that one for a gain of 6. Early first down for the Tigers. Now using some of that wide with the tight end kind of hiding in the backfield here, keeping 5 in the box on defense. We'll see if we're going to utilize some more of these runs. We are indeed. Bo Jackson, a little RPO, takes that one up the middle, because now coming out in that different formation kind of changes the math. It changes the numbers for the Memphis offense, where now we have an extra blocker in here. So even if you have an extra guy down, we can trust our guys, especially with all of the abilities we saw across that offensive line of Memphis. We're going to trust these guys to go get those blocks, find some room for our superstar, Bo Jackson. I would keep running the ball here. I mean, we got essentially 4 in the box. We do have the 3 high safeties, which might, slow down our ability to pop a big run, but I would guess we'd be able to get some yardage here. Try to sneak a wheel route out there to Bo Jackson, but that outside slot corner comes flying back inside, close to a disaster there for Jamison Schism and the Tigers, but it just falls incomplete. It'll be a 2nd and 10 here at the 49, and of course, per usual, if you guys didn't know, if you haven't seen any of these before, we watch the full first offensive drive of each of these teams. Then we'll start bouncing around a little bit. And also, I didn't mention in the intro, I should mention right now, if you guys could do me a huge favor, hit that like button if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. It really does help a ton, and I would greatly appreciate it if you could take a second to do either one of those things. Memphis, let's see if we're just trying to hit something quick. I think we're probably looking for triangle on just that quick little out route. Then Schism tries to make something happen with his legs, but Tylan Warner, the linebacker for UAB, having absolutely none of it. I'm assuming that's who it is, because that's whose name popped up. I didn't actually see the number or the name of the gentleman who made that tackle. It wasn't. It was number 57. The game lied to me. Rough start. Or was it? Maybe it was. Who knows? Who could possibly say? Not me. Come back out in that wide stack. It does seem to be given pretty good numbers for Memphis. We are going to keep that run to Bo Jackson even on 3rd and 14, and we pick up 11. Now we're in a spot we can actually go for this ball at the UAB 44, a 4th and 3. Can we just throw that little RPO over to the left? Did he get that? Oh my goodness, that was an awful close call. Oh, that's an inside zone. We can't actually throw out of that. That was awful close. The Cosmic Selector flew through that left gap, tried to Superman dive and make that tackle, comes up just short. Bo Jackson able to pick up the big first down for the Memphis Tigers, keep this first drive alive. Ball at the UAB 41, 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Looks like we're trying to set up something. You have to come back the corner, just kind of clearing stuff out so we can dump down, take a quick flat, take an easy 4 yards. Nothing wrong with that. If we can just throw or run and get 4 yards of play in this veer and shoot offense, we're not opposed to it. It keeps the chains moving, keeps the ball moving. I like what we're seeing out of Memphis here. Really just taking what UAB's been giving them here so far. We did try to force that one on the wheel route, but other than that, it's just been get the ball out quick, utilize that run game, and it has been working great. See, here's an example of the math kind of changing. So because we had that tight end in the backfield, even with UAB having 6 in the box, we have 6 blockers now, so we can still run the ball on a front like that. Just a good block shed there by UAB. Brings him down just for a gain of 2. So now we got a 3rd and 4, ball at the 35. I'm curious if Memphis would go for this if they get stopped here, but we might not even be finding out. So is this that RPO play again? We saw him run this one earlier. It is. Good block shed again, but I think he picked up just enough for that first down. Another one. They get that first down by 6 inches, but it all counts the same. First down for Memphis. That RPO is interesting. It's almost like the Wake Forest RPOs from last year. There's the slow mesh RPOs where you really get time to look downfield and decide if you want to throw that ball or not. And it's working well for Memphis here. Now we're going to some pistol set, going back to an RPO, keeping the run again. And that was Tylan Warner on the sack earlier. That is number 57, and now he's hurt. So an unfortunate turn of events there for UAB. Memphis really been going to quite a lot of these RPOs. We're coming out inside zone, staying in this wide stack. Looks like we're going to be auditing around. Looks like a good numbers situation over on the left there if we did want to throw that, but we will actually keep that run to Bo Jackson and again find that space up the middle of the field. The Memphis run game out of this veer and shoot is really doing a number on this UAB defense, and that wide stack really seems to be setting them up well for success. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see that be kind of the main formation we're going to see from Memphis, just from how well it's been working here. But we are going to go to a little bit of empty this time, a little 3-man rush. Again, just take the quick, take what they're giving you, take your 6 yards. You got the guy wide open right over the middle right away. Just get it to him. Keep the ball moving down the field. We've got a second. I was gonna say already, but it's been 3.5 minutes. It's 2nd and 4. Ball at the 11-yard line. UAB almost getting a little bit of a taste of their own medicine here. This has been a very Blazer-like drive, just out of different formations. It's been a lot of runs, a lot of just moving the sticks, keeping it moving, barely picking up first downs again and again. And we're about 4 minutes into this game, and the Memphis drive is still going. Now we got a 1st and goal at the 5. It's very similar to what we saw UAB do against Oregon State last week. They got that turnover early, ball at the 1-yard line, and then it was what, a 5.5-minute touchdown drive from UAB that set the pace, set the tone for that entire game. We'll see if that's what's happening here with Memphis. As 2 minutes are left, we are going back to that stretch over to the left, trusting in Bo Jackson. That guy has got to be huffing and puffing, and he is getting beat up here already just on the opening drive. That's brutal. He's already at -10 change of direction, -9 speed, -6 break tackle, -2 carry, and -1 catch just on the opening drive. I understand he has ran the ball 8 or 9 times, but that seems excessive. That seems like a lot. We do have injuries turned down. I don't remember if we changed anything with wear and tear. I could check, I suppose, but what's the fun in that? Going for the RPO over to the right flat, and just like that now, 2 plays, 2 good defensive stands there from UAB. A little bend but don't break, perhaps. We got a 3rd and goal at the 5. Minute 15 left in the 1st. Memphis really, I mean, this has been so similar to what we see UAB do. It's kind of incredible, just out of the veer and shoot. Going with a tight end RPO, and we got the Batista bomb over on the left flat, wide open, walks in for the touchdown. I'm trying to remember Batista's theme song from the WWE back in the day. And yes, this Batista is spelled with a U. Batista in the WWE wasn't, but his real name is. It's all pretty confusing. But anyway, he walks alone in that pit of danger, finds his way in. A 17-play, 75-yard, 5-minute touchdown drive for Memphis to start this game. Now we'll see what the Blazers can answer back with. What is the defensive game plan going to be here for Memphis against that heavy run set? Going with some 4-3, even 6-1. Now, I do love me some 6-1. I don't love it so much against power runs. Oh, well, if your D tackle is going to shed like that, then I love it. Because there's just not a ton of help. Like, I feel like the user is so responsible for helping out on the runs, and at least I am very bad at that. So if you're better at it, 6-1 could be great against what UAB does, but I am such a bad run defender as a user. I feel like I give up so many easy yards, and maybe adding some more stunts and things would help too. Let's see, 2nd and 12 coming out in I-form tight. We're going, I think this was the Sam Will blitz. It was close. It was close. We bring him down for a loss of 2, but I do just want to point out here really quick, there was a gap for UAB. He got a little stuck here, but if he got through that line right there, that's my problem with 6-1, because I give that up all the time, and then there's just nobody to help out. So now we got a 3rd and 14. The Memphis defense jumping on UAB early. I mean, the Blazers, once they get behind the sticks, we have seen he does have the ability to pass. Yes, it is a very run-heavy offense, but in these type of situations, he's got some tricks. He's got some good pass plays he can go to try to pick up these 3rd and long. Let's see what it's going to be here. A 3rd and 14. Finds his man. The 3-man rush was getting in there pretty good, getting a little bit of pressure, but DJ Khaled finds his man for another one. Picks up 12 yards, 4th and 2. Against Oregon State, we saw UAB was actually pretty aggressive on these 4th downs. I wouldn't be surprised to see him be going for this one once we get to the 2nd quarter. He will indeed be going for it here yet again. Now an I-form wing. 1 running back, 3 tight end, 1 wide receiver. See if we're going to try to get one potentially going outside to the right here. Trying to shift his guys. Oh, we're actually going quick pass. He's all backed up, and look at Neal. Neal somehow makes that catch and somehow breaks that tackle of that outside corner. That's an embarrassing rep for that corner. That is going to be a tough week in the film room as the coaches go over the game tape of this one. Not one you want to have replayed over and over again. That is a first down for UAB on the Memphis' side of the field. So now we get it outside. Now we get an outside run. A great one-on-one tackle there, though. It's going to be a good week of film for that outside corner. He gets to laugh at his friend on the other side and says, look at this tackle I made, potentially saving that touchdown. But those outside runs, we saw how that blocking set up. And 6-1, it's just so condensed. So just not a lot of help behind him. So it's risky. We saw it work those first few runs. You know, we brought him down for a loss of 2 the first couple times. Sorry if there's a weird cut or something there. I just had somebody knocked on the door, which is crazy. Never happens. Anyway, we're back to it. 2nd and 6. Going for a little screen out to the right. The user rush defensive tackle almost gets through there, but it is Robbie Koch taking that slip screen down to the 9-yard line. Now a 1st and goal for UAB. Look at did you see that pancake by that man on the outside? Hopefully we can see it on the replay here. Bang, there he goes, just lays the man out, moves on to the next guy, sets a beautiful alley up for Robbie Koch. UAB slipping in a few different things, slipping in a slip screen to pick up a huge chunk of change. Again, showing blitz the linebackers there. Seems like something Memphis likes to do, but there goes the run. There goes Caldwell. We've seen, I think, is that all 3 running backs, Koch, Page, and Caldwell, already just on the opening drive for UAB, and they actually answer back in just a few minutes. They actually had a incredibly fast touchdown drive compared to what we're used to seeing and compared to what Memphis did there. Now it's a total flip from that game of the week last week, where now Memphis is going to get the ball with 5 minutes left. Is UAB going to get this ball back before half? Now we start jumping around a little bit here as Memphis has moved it to UAB's 42-yard line. A nice play there. Once again, Tyler Bautista bomb, picking up a huge chunk of change, breaking some tackles. That's the importance of having a good tight end in that veer and shoot. If you're going to sneak in some of those tight end flat RPOs, things like that, makes a world of difference. So it looks like we're going, was this another RPO here? It is indeed. We do have 2 defenders over on the left. Probably not going to be able to do that. We are just going to keep it as a run up the middle. And it's Bo Jackson again, picking up another 8 yards, even with his wear and tear. 11 rush attempts, 64 yards. Man's a workhorse. You got to stay out there, brother. Keep up the good work, my guy. So now we're going a little wide bunch over to the right. We do got 3 defenders out there, so I don't know if you want to go to the RPO. I like, yeah, throw a little tight end, or not tight end flat, halfback flat out to that 3 side. Linebackers not be able to get out there in time. Again, just going where that space is really what C Knuckles has been doing here. And it's been working great for him. Just put those, get those quick ones underneath, get those halfbacks out on those flats, just find where the open space is going to be. And the Tigers have been taking advantage of it and rely on that run game of Bo Jackson. Another run of 11 yards, another one. Usually that's UAB's quarterback we're saying that one for, but it's Bo Jackson again taking that one up the gut. His 12th carry, I think, for about 75 yards. Heck of a half Bo Jackson is putting together here, even with that wear and tear. His left leg is really hurting him, and right in the chest, too. You don't love to see that one. So 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Memphis now slow things down. Start trying to work that clock here a little bit. Going with some wide trips. It looks like we're going to keep the run again. We got a 5-on-5 in the box. Absolutely keep the run. I believe that was Greg Smith that time. It was indeed his first carry of the day for the backup halfback for the Tigers. Able to pick up a gain of 4 and I believe take us to the 2-minute warning here. Indeed it does. Now reset here. 2nd and 6. Ball at the 12. Memphis tie game. Memphis, UAB getting the ball to start the second half. So really, if we're Memphis, we would love to somehow, some way take the whole rest of this first half. I think we're a little too close down at this point. You theoretically could, but you'd really have to place everything very, very precisely here. You'd want to get like a 3rd and inches here. We're swinging out Bo Jackson. We are going to take it to him. Hope he can win a one-on-one on the outside, but he cannot. Gets brought down for a loss of 2 and gets punched right in the face. Number 0 of UAB. We saw UAB last week did get a bit of a late hit on Oregon State after the guy scored a touchdown. And this time UAB just started sucker punching Bo Jackson right in the head. Look at this. Number 0 makes that tackle on the outside. Great tackle. Stands over him, teabags him, and just starts punching him in the face repeatedly. Cosmic Selector, we are going to have to, we might need to see you in the league office here. Commissioner, we might need to have a meeting with the commissioner about the behavior of your defense. Some dirty tactics on display here from UAB. It's bad enough to be punching the guy in the head. I mean, he's got a helmet on. He'll probably be all right. But then to teabag him on top of that. Goes for the, wow, what a throw, what a catch. I can't believe that actually got in there. Of course, I can't see the guy's number because it's all rolled up there, but what a touchdown play from Memphis there on 3rd and 12. I am going to have to see this one again because it looked like we had a hook there on defense that was going to actually jump right in front of it right here, but he takes one step inside, leaves the spot there. I believe that was Larry Kroom, actually, the platinum cutter of Memphis, able to find the tightest window possible through that UAB defense, comes down with the ball and fights his way through. He's getting revenge for Bo Jackson. So you're going to disrespect our running back like that? I'm going to disrespect your secondary. Come down with this ball and fight through and punch in the Memphis touchdown. The Tigers taking a 7-point lead. We'll see if UAB can answer back here before halftime. Already still running the ball. Still got 3 timeouts. Still a minute left. Still time to do what UAB likes to do here. Little ace slot, are we just taking off? DJ Khaled finding some space. Those big Memphis boys up front, they might have been partaking in the Battle of the Bones barbecue cook-off here before the game started because those boys were moving awful slow. Khaled takes that one for a huge gain of what, 27 yards. Now it's a 1st and 10 at Memphis's 25-yard line. 54 seconds left in the first half, and UAB still got all their timeouts. Khaled was able to get out of bounds there and get that run game going yet again. To Marco Page taking that one for 5 yards. So yeah, we are in no rush at this point with UAB. We are in no rush at all. We got all our timeouts. We got 40 seconds left. It's our ball coming out of half. We can take our time here. Going back to that tight slot open. So last time we saw this was like a deep in or something like that from our far outside wide receiver. This time it is going to be a run, but the edge comes flying into the backfield. You think you know him, but the edge goes in and gets the spear in the backfield. A lot of wrestling references today. I blame Memphis having a tight end named Batista. I could do wrestling references all day long, but here comes UAB. 3rd and 5. Ball at Memphis is 19 here. Coming out in a little normal off week, potentially trying to hit that quick slant. It looked like we actually had that outside one. Might have had our tight end on that quick curl, but the pass rush comes flying in. Was that George Kronk, whoever it was, forces the incompletion. Now, if you're UAB, I think you take your 3 here. Yeah, and he will. Because you're getting the ball coming out of half, I think taking your 3 here, making it a 4-point game, actually makes a lot of sense for the Blazers to do. Stadium Pulse fully rocking here in Memphis. This rivalry game's got the fans showing up, the fans showing out, trying to make some noise, but the kick's up. The kick is good. Right down the middle of the field. Let's see if anything else is going to happen here in the first half for Memphis. Take a quick one there, 6 yards. Take our timeouts. We got 15 seconds, 2nd and 4. See what the Tigers are going to try to cook up here. Schism in the backfield. Quick little speed out slant. Still just going quick, trying to find some empty space. Risky. Woo, that was a dicey one. Goes for that speed out, but the outside corner stayed sitting down on it, and it wasn't the best pass by Schism. Luckily, our receiver got up and made an effort and got his hands on that ball because that could have been a devastating turn of events for the Memphis Tigers. 5 seconds left. Just dropping back to pass one more time here. Might as well chuck something up, see what happens. That's probably the smarter thing to do, is just throw it away. Don't let UAB's defense get a pick 6 or get your quarterback cold or anything like that. But that is going to take us to halftime, a 14-10 lead for the Memphis Tigers. Let's take it back to the studio. A fun back and forth first half comes to an end here in Memphis. I mean, neither defense really having much of an answer for the other team's offense. The only stop really was Memphis holding UAB to that field goal. It's gone touchdown Memphis, touchdown UAB, touchdown Memphis, field goal UAB. But we will see how the Blazers come out of the second half. See if they can keep that momentum rolling on offense. I'm very nervous for Memphis in this 6-1 defense if that's what they're going to stick to when UAB goes those heavy run sets. I just feel like there's a big play coming from at some point here from UAB. And on the Memphis offensive side, I wouldn't hate to see more of that double stack. I think we've got a good setup for it with the defense UAB has been running, and maybe go to one of those RPOs on the left side, because we've only had one solo corner on the 2 receivers on the left side. Wouldn't hate to see Memphis go to that, and we'll have to see if that wear and tear on Bo Jackson is going to come into play a little bit more in the second half. Overall, I mean, he's been beat up since that first drive, but he's still in there and making plays for the Tigers. So it's really the running game versus the running game. We'll see if either defense can make a change and figure something out to slow the other team down. But that is going to take us to our halftime highlights for today. We'll start with the Mountain West clash between Rice and the Toledo Rockets. Rice did let me know he had about 5 or 6 playbooks on a wheel. Let his wife give her a spin. Landed on the Liberty Flames, who she then said, well, that sounds awful patriotic. You better go with that one. So Rice is going to be in the Liberty offense for this game against Toledo. Not starting off hot here, as we will pick up in the second quarter. 5 minutes 39 seconds left in this one. Rice with the ball on a 4th and 13, looking deep, but the pressure just gets home for Toledo. The number 1 team in the country, are reigning defending national champions. This was always going to be a tough one for the Rice Owls, no matter what playbook they ended up going in. Now that looked like just a hot route, or a defensive adjustment kind of got messed up there. He accidentally put an outside quarter on that guy. He was probably trying to put him in a flat or something like that, but Toledo ends up with a touchdown. But look at this effort from number 14 on Rice. He is not going to go down easy. Yeah, they're down 28-0 in the first half, but he has got some fighting spirit for the Rice Owls. He's going to throw down a slam dunk on the Toledo crossbar here, but it is going to be 28-7. Toledo, just like one play later, I think, just finding the play action, finding the streak in for the touchdown. The Toledo Rockets make fairly quick work here, unfortunately, of the Rice Owls. That one's going to end up 54-21. Toledo starting their Mountain West season off hot with a win against the Rice Owls. 400 yards of offense for Toledo. Still ended up with about 300 for Rice, so not too bad. The run game obviously wasn't quite there. I don't know, maybe a lot of that was sacks or something like that. Really, you only turned it over once against a defense like Toledo in a playbook you're not familiar with. That's really not all that bad. So Toledo getting the win there. Let's go to Army taking on Texas State down in San Marcos. And a special shout out, by the way, for Texas State, one of, I believe, 3 users in the Dynasty that did schedule 12 user games for this season. Something Old Dominion did last year, and not for us. I didn't want to do it again, but shout out Texas State for taking on that challenge. Let's get to our highlights here. Texas State with a 3-0 lead here. Minute 20 left in the first. Army also running a veer and shoot offense. I think it's just Army and Memphis. I don't know, there might be more, but there's that tight end RPO and big boy number 88. Army again in their 200, I think those are the 250th anniversary uniforms. Army's got such good alternates. All the service academies do, but that's a touchdown for the Black Knights. Now second and goal for Texas State, down by 4, going with a little wide set, finding our own tight end in that flat. Right back at you, Army. Texas State in for the score to go back up by 3. Now we jump ahead a little bit. Army is up by 7, 30 seconds left in the half, and the QB for Texas State tries to dive like Superman, but gets hit like he's Clark Kent, and that ball comes loose. Army keeps the 7-point advantage heading into half. Now Army up by 14 with 4:50 left to go in this one, but Texas State trying to keep battling back. We got those right flats wide open. Find our guy tiptoe down the sideline to take it down to the 1-yard line. Texas State looking to punch this one back in, make it a 7-point game in the fourth quarter. Go with a little hurry up here against this double mug. Trust in our boys up front to give us just enough time. Find the halfback to the right flat. The user can't get out there quite fast enough. Texas State makes it a 7-point game, but Army looking to put it away now. Less than 3 minutes to go, and we go right back to that tight end flat, right back to big man number 88. One little cut back inside. That must be an awful fast tight end, because nobody on the Texas State defense is going to be able to catch him, and that is going to do it for that one. Is the Army Black Knights will get that win 31-17. Big out of conference, big road win there for Army, a team Old Dominion's actually be playing in a few weeks. Ugh, don't love our chances in that one. But 31-17, 430 yards in that veer and shoot offense for Army. Texas State with 320. Always tough to play in a monsoon, like it seems like always happens down in Texas. So a good win for Army there. And that is really it for our halftime highlights. We did have 2 other user games that were supposed to happen this week, but somebody was out of town for one of them. or Utah State versus Washington State, and then North Texas versus Tulsa. Life just kind of got in the way. We're all, you know, it seems like almost everybody in this dynasty has kids at this point, and weekends can be tough. Schedules aren't always going to line. Totally fine. It happens. I understand. So with all of that covered, we can go over all the CPU games and things that happened this week. Let's take it back to our main event, see what's going to happen here in the second half between UAB and Memphis. So we'll jump ahead a couple minutes here to start the second half. We got a big 3rd and 13 for UAB. Maybe Memphis's defense can be the one to step up and make a big play. Little heat coming at him. Got him. Got some pressure on him, had to heat up DJ Khaled a little bit, tries to go over the middle, but the coverage, fantastic there from Memphis. We got a 4th and 13. Is UAB going to stay aggressive on these 4th downs at their own 41, down by 4? They are indeed. Tight slot open. This is going to be the offensive formation. We did see him. Is that same formation we've seen a couple times from UAB, where we went for like a deep in over on the left. We'll see if that's going to be what we're going to go for here. We have a crosser. We had the crosser was getting open. Going to that right sideline, he was getting above that deep zone. But look at big beefy boy number 98 fighting through the offensive lineman and the help block of the running back to get the pressure on Khaled and force the incompletion. And it is the Memphis defense, the first one to make a huge play, make a huge stand in this game. Now, can the offense take advantage of it here? We're going to try this tight end RPO again, it looks like, looking for Batista on the left. Not going to be there. Going to have to keep that run. Greg Smith gets brought down for a loss of 1. We did see Bo Jackson was awful beat up in that first half, and now Greg Smith taking the first snap of the second half here for the Memphis offense. We will see if that's something that's going to continue throughout the half. If Bo Jackson, he might be in the medical tent, he might be at the hospital, he might be, who knows where he's at. Where I do know is he is not on the field as of right now. 2nd and 11 for Memphis. We got our tight end on the line, wide set over on the right, going for a quick out, probably looking right there for Batista. Don't have it. Going around with Schism. I think that underthrow might have actually saved him, if we're being honest. That underthrow almost worked out perfectly. Schism on the run, another orange pass, underthrows it a bit. If that's accurate, I feel like one of those UAB safeties was going to have a shot to make a play there, but because it was underthrown, the receiver is actually able to come back and get his hands on it, but then gets his back broken and drops the ball. But at least it's better than the alternative. So now we'll take a quick drag to Batista on 3rd and 11. This is something we've seen Memphis do a few times that I actually really like. They've been in those kind of 3rd and long situations and are just taking 8 yards and making it a much more manageable 4th down. So now we have a 4th and 3 instead of, you know, if you just try to get it all in one shot. 4th and 11, you might not want to go for it in that situation. Now 4th and 3, we certainly can. Going with a little mesh underneath, halfback to the flat, nowhere quick to go. Great defense underneath there from UAB, but a great play by C Knuckles in the Memphis offense. Jamison Schism had to have been looking underneath there right away, trying to get one of those quick. UAB saw that coming, was all over it, had a ton of his defense down. But then that deep dig, that second level, Schism's eyes move downfield and finds that deep dig for the huge first down for Memphis. Then it's Greg Smith again. It might just be a Greg Smith half here for the Memphis Tigers, which is a huge blow to that offense. I mean, how many carries did Bo Jackson have in that first half? He was in the double digits for sure. And having that explosiveness of a running back like that to replace him with somebody like Greg Smith, we'll see how it is going to affect the Memphis offense here in this half. So now we're going back to this tight end RPO. It's been there every time, so I don't hate the call here at all. It's there again. Schism, brother, Mr. Schism. I mean, that's potentially a touchdown. I don't know if they were going to hold their blocks long enough for Batista to actually get in there, but that is a brutal miss for the Memphis offense. I think Batista was getting in. I think he was going to that pylon, and I think that was going to be a touchdown. But Schism just sails it right over his head here. Ooh, rough start to this half for the Memphis quarterback. So now it's going to be a 3rd and 11 for the Tigers. We're going back to an RPO. Usually when he's been untargeting people, it's because he's in an RPO. Yes, it is an RPO here again. Not going to have it. Just got to keep that run Smith, I mean, he was bouncing around a little bit on that one. But again, you got to feel like if that's Bo Jackson in there, I don't know if he's picking up the first down, but he's certainly getting some more yardage. So that's going to leave us with a 4th and 6. And Memphis is going to decide to take their 3 this time and make it a 7-point game. 17-10 lead for the Tigers. After just a couple of plays, UAB now on the Memphis side of the 50. It was a nice run there by Robbie Koch to move him to the side, to this side of the 50, and that is DeMarco Caldwell. We're seeing all 3 UAB running backs again kind of getting cycled through here. It looked like we had some gaps to potentially run there, but he was too busy kind of sidestepping his way around. Never just plant your foot and go there, brother. Maybe we can get some good yardage, but we still take a little gain of 3. That is a-okay for us. Staying in some I-form wing. Memphis really staying in this heavy defensive front. Coming out in 4-6 bear this time against I-form wing, and we're dropping back to pass. A quick out route finds Reggie Neal, and he is actually going to outrun the Memphis secondary and takes that caught me by stuff. I am very surprised on that one. Comes out in the I-form wing. Looked like Memphis backed up that outside corner, so UAB pulls the trick, pulls the rabbit out of their hat. And how about a quick little out route to Reggie Neal, who then finds his way in for the UAB touchdown. And just like that, the Blazers have tied us back up. 4 plays, 74 yards, less than a minute. You never see a drive like that from UAB, but they are in, and it is a tie ball game. As we head into the 4th quarter, the Memphis offense facing a 3rd and inches at the UAB 47-yard line. So what is the play call going to be here from the Tigers? I mean, I have a tough time trusting Schism right now if I'm Memphis. It might be pronounced Schism, but I think Schism makes more sense, especially considering how he has played here. So 3rd and inches, we might actually have to burn a timeout here. We took a little too long to pick our play. Yes, indeed. Now Memphis, thinking things over, was originally going to come out in empty. Instead, we're going to some wide trips here. This is a big 3rd down. Obviously, it's a tie game. It's a 4th quarter. It's a 3rd and inches just outside of scoring territory. Of course, it's a big 3rd down. This is a little play action. We're going to throw a drag over on our outside receiver, which I like the looks of that quite a bit. The play action where you're going to go deep over the middle. The user just a step off of it. The user of Cosmic Selector, he saw the deep in coming that time, but number 3 is just a step too slow to get back there. Frederick Casey with a big catch for the Tigers. 20-yard completion. Look at that throw he can hit just perfectly on the money though, off his back foot. 20 yards downfield, dead on it. Don't even worry about it. Over the middle seems to be his comfort zone compared to going to the outside perhaps. So we're going back to an RPO. Gonna try to throw it that time, but the outside corner flying down for UAB to make a great one-on-one tackle there. Only a gain of 2 for the Tigers offense. I feel like we haven't seen Memphis go back to that wide stack. Oh, well, okay. Never mind. I was gonna say, I feel like we hadn't seen him go back to that wide stack at all, and it was such a good formation for him in the first half. Even just that inside zone run has been working super well. But now with it being Greg Smith, that was still him in that backfield. Still no sign of Bo Jackson. We've been looking for him on the sideline here. Nobody's been able to find Bo Jackson. He might be out in the parking lot enjoying some ribs. I unfortunately have no update for you there, but no sign of Bo Jackson. It is still Greg Smith in that backfield for Memphis with 5 minutes to go in this one. Going for that quick out to Batista. Dude, this guy has been unbelievable. Batista's been a stud for this Memphis offense. I don't even know how many catches he's at this point. It's got to be close to double digits. Just those quick out routes, those flat routes, he has been absolutely everywhere for Memphis. So we're back in that double stack, going back. See, right there, if that was Bo Jackson, you could see when Greg Smith tried to cut that upfield, he almost looked like he slipped a little bit, hesitated a little bit. Where it was Bo Jackson, he's making that cut and getting upfield right away. I think that was it's really, really devastating for the Memphis offense to not have Jackson out there. And he also got hammered at the end of that. So we can go back to this tight end RPO. Good user defense there, though, by Cosmic Selector. He saw that one coming. That was almost could have been 6 going the other way there with how the user defended that. He knew what was coming that time. He's not going to let Batista beat him on that again. Still picks up a few yards, though. Now we got a 3rd and 5 ball at the 8-yard line. 4 minutes to go. Where are we going here if we are Memphis? Back to our tight Y off. I liked the play we had there. Let's see. Okay, probably looking for one of those speed outs on the outside here. Not going to have it on the left. Have our running back. Batista. I mean, can't go wrong throwing to Batista. A lot of help defenders there to help bring him down short. 4th and 1, and Memphis is deciding not to take the lead here. They are going to go for it. Little mesh spot. 4th and 1. Ball at the 4-yard line. I don't know. Maybe you do take your 3 here, but 4th and 1, I understand going for it. Circle, circle, circle. Pressure gets in. The 3-man rush gets to Schism. Gideon Adongo gets in there and gets the sack, and the UAB defense steps up to make the big play. We saw Memphis do it at the start of the second half. This time UAB answers back and giving the offense a shot here. Tie game, less than 4 minutes left. Gonna jump ahead just a little bit here. UAB's offense did pick up 1 first down, but since then Memphis defense has kind of been all over them. We got a 3rd and 12 for UAB. We are gonna have to run one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Ball still only at their own 27. Let's see what UAB is going to cook up here. A little doubles Y off action. Staying in that heavy set. Looks like Memphis is. Or maybe this is just nickel. I should pay more attention. We're literally watching Memphis's screen. I could be able to tell. We're going back to that slip screen. Worked so well in the first half. This time, though, we'd love to see our big man be able to hold that block for a little bit longer. Maybe we could have picked up that first down. Robbie Koch gets brought down just short. We got a 4th and 5 for UAB. 2 minutes left at your own 34. For clock purposes, I don't hate going for this. Because if you punt it, you're not seeing the ball back unless you somehow get a turnover or something. But if you go for it here, you still give your offense a shot. It's a big man blitz from Memphis. Goes for the quick slant, and the ball gets knocked out. Reggie Neal unable to come down with that one. And the Memphis defense again stands tall to make a big play. Keeps this one tied. Gets the offense back out there with less than 2 minutes left now. They get it at their own 34. Going back to, it's kind of like a mesh, but with a return route here. We will take Batista over to that left sideline, take our gain of 3. That's fine. That is 10 catches for Tyler Batista in this one so far. But now we got a 2nd and 7. No timeout from UAB. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't take one quite yet either. Gotta try to save 1 or 2 for offense if you can. 2nd and 7 though. Memphis Tigers, what are we coming out in here? Let's see. So 2 receivers over on the right, tight end over on the left. It is going to be a run up the middle there. Back to Greg Smith, back with just nowhere to go. Greg Smith has had just nothing doing on the run here in this ball game. So we got a 3rd and 6, still no timeout from me. See, now I think I would take a timeout if I was UAB. Now I think we take one. It's 3rd and 6. They're running. I mean, yeah, I think we should have taken a timeout there. But 40 seconds left now. 3rd and 6 for Memphis. First down essentially is going to end this game. We're going to trust Greg Smith, but the safety of UAB comes down and meets him. Absolutely stonewalls him. A yard short of the line to gain. If that's Bo Jackson, that's probably a first down for Memphis. But now we got a 4th and 1 in decision time for C Knuckles and the Tigers. He is going to take his 3 here. I could go both ways on this one too, because if you do go for it and get it, the game's over, right? But do you want to risk that or just take your 3 now and take the lead with 30 seconds left? I could go either way on that. It would just depend on how I'm feeling at the time, but Memphis decides to take the 3. It is going to be the Tigers lead here with 32 seconds left. UAB though still has 2 timeouts, and we know they've got some go-to pass plays in their arsenal that we might see get broken out here at this point with 32 seconds to go. It's be single back doubles. I don't know if we've seen UAB break this formation out at all yet. I don't remember seeing it. Most of the single back stuff we've seen is like 3 tight end, really heavy set, but I guess it would make sense with 32 seconds left in this game to not go to that. So it's gonna be single back doubles. 3-3 stack is gonna be the defense going with the man blitz. Gives it to Page, and what And Page just gets to the corner and is going to outrun the Tigers defense. Come out in single back doubles and stay true to yourself. Keep that run game. Give it to your guy, DeMarco Page, and trust him to go make a freaking play for you. And that's exactly what Page does. 75 yards to the house for UAB. 21 seconds left. Just a stretch out of single back doubles, and he gets around the entire defense for the score. UAB wants those bronze ribs, man. They do not want to go home without those ribs. 4-point lead, 20 seconds ago. Let's see what Memphis can try to draw up here. After the touchback, it is a 1st and 10 at the 25 for the Tigers. Schism in the backfield. Going to hand one off. Maybe trying to catch him in a pass commit or something there. Giving it to Greg Smith. Best run of the day for Smith to be able to pick up 9 yards there. Memphis has to burn their second timeout. 17 seconds left. I can't believe UAB scored on just that halfback stretch, man. I think it was a big man blitz from Memphis, and the pursuit angles in this game aren't the best. They could use some improvement, but still look like we had it. Now we go for the comeback, and it's a red pass by Schism. Man, he has just been all over the place on these passes here. 3rd and 1. I mean, Memphis still had 1 timeout left, so I definitely like the comeback idea. Just try to get 15, 20 yards or something and take your timeout. Schism dropping back to pass. 3-man rush all day to throw. We've got RB. Another bad ball. Oh, Schism is killing the Memphis Tigers here. I mean, a good ball, pass led up here. R1 can catch that and run, and he's in for the touchdown, but Schism underthrows it. Lets the help defense get there and knock that one out. Man, gotta feel for C Knuckles here. Some points left on the board because of his quarterback in this one. One last shot for the Tigers. Yeah, the user defender is going to go watch that one this time. Yep, just got to chuck it deep, ends up getting intercepted, and UAB is going home with the trophy, going home with the ribs. What an unbelievable back and forth game between these guys. This is why we did end up doing UAB 2 weeks in a row. Let's see, do they actually like celebrate with a trophy? They do. Look at them. There they are. There's the big old ribs I was talking about earlier. UAB gets to bring that one back to Birmingham until next time. No word on who won the competition before the game in the parking lot, but we'll give it to Memphis just because. Now we'll throw it back to the studio one more time. Again, GG's to Cosmic Selector and to C Knuckles. Just an unbelievable game between those two. The back and forth, the veer and shoot versus the power run. A fun little style matchup for us, but Cosmic Selector pulls out the win yet again, improving to 2-0 on the season here so far. Memphis going down to 1-1, but there was certainly a lot of positives to take away from that Memphis offense. If we can keep Bo Jackson on the field, and if that quarterback could just hit a couple more throws, this game could have been very, very different. But a great win for the Blazers. We can throw over to our video board here, see our final stats for that one. UAB ended up with nearly 10 yards per play, 322 yards of offense on 32 plays. That offense was humming. Getting a 75-yard touchdown at the end of regulation will certainly help with that. Whereas Memphis ran 55 plays, 273 yards in that veer and shoot. Again, just taking what the defense was giving them. I liked how Memphis was using that veer and shoot offense. Just that dang Schism. That dang Schism a couple times really left him out to dry. And I think in a very rare sight, Memphis actually dominated time of possession here. UAB about 8 minutes, Memphis about 16. You don't see that too often with this Blazers offense, but all that really matters, UAB does end up getting the win in this ball game. Let's take a quick look around what else happened throughout the Dynasty here in week 2. We had Toledo take down Rice. We saw that. Louisiana hammers Florida 70-20. These are the two other user games that looks like are not going to get played. This is going to be a forced win for Utah State because Washington State was out of town throughout this 72-hour stretch. This one is going to be a sim between Tulsa and North Texas. Tulsa is a 99 overall, so I expect them to do all right in that sim. Sometimes life just gets in the way, and that is going to happen. ODU Your beloved Old Dominion Monarchs take down Virginia 28-17. Going down to Conference USA, our Gold Conference. Bowling Green not going to be playing their game against Central Michigan. We'll see how it goes for them. Looks like they did lose whatever their sim was last week against the CPU. Buffalo drops 100 on the Akron Zips. What did Akron ever do to you? 100-16. Buffalo gets the win against Akron there. UAB takes down Memphis, and we saw everything else here. Down to our Silver Conference, the American San Diego State beats Boise 51-16 on the blue turf. FIU on the teal turf takes down Coastal Carolina 49-7. UNLV not going to be playing their game against Texas A&M. We'll see how that sim works for them. It worked out for them last week. We'll see how it goes against Texas A&M. Colorado State 49-14 to improve to 2-0 on the season over BYU. Sam Houston also going to 2-0, taking down a top 25 opponent there with the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and USF heads into North Carolina State and gets that win 27-21. Down to our Bronze Conference, the Sun Belt. Temple had some internet issues. I believe his internet has just been off thanks to some storms or things like that. So he tried to play his game against FIU. The whole thing just shut down on him. Not really much you can do there. UTSA falls 35-17 to Clemson. He did use 2 play attempts because he was in the wrong playbook the first time. It's going to happen, especially if you're trying to run the go-go offense and you have to set it every time. Georgia takes down Georgia Southern 27-17. UAB, we saw that. Appalachian State falls to North Carolina 35-42. Looks like that was actually a pretty fun game. Fresno takes down the Redhawks of Miami of Ohio 21-17. And last but not least, Southern Miss gets a top 10 victory as they head into Coral Gables and take down number 7 Miami Hurricanes 28-20. So that's everything that happened here in week 2 of the OMT Online Dynasty. We will see you guys shortly for week 3 with Old Dominion having a user game against East Carolina coming up, and then we will have game of the week. Then after that, it's just gonna be a couple games of the week because Old Dominion actually has back-to-back bye weeks in week 4 and 5. So I will see you guys for that. Hope you enjoyed this one. Until then, take it easy.